Someday, in the late fall, listen carefully when you hear the wind coming off the ocean through the pines. It almost seems like someone is trying to tell us something, possibly someone's name. Oh, mother leads. Oh, mother leads.
Hey friends, it's Frankie, and I'm back with another episode of Revealing the Unknown Paracast, where I jump down rabbit holes into the bizarre, the paranormal, true crime, dark history, and anything that is unexplained or unknown. And look guys, I have a new fancy background, very spooky, very eerie, very creepy. In no way, shape, or form am I an expert on any of these topics. I am just someone that when I find a story or a topic or a subject matter that interests me, I will jump down rabbit holes in probably ways I shouldn't. It's fascinating to me to look at it from the psychological perspective, why we are so obsessed with things that we cannot define, things that are unknown, like the paranormal, urban legends, folklore, ghosts, and all that kind of supernatural stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, so make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all the notifications on our new released content, not only revealing the unknown, but all the great content that is coming up in 2025 right here at the ParaSight Experience. Make sure you like and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at the ParaSight Experience. And again, comment. I love to read comments. It doesn't have to be everything in agreement. I just want to know what you guys think about some of the subject matter that we're going to be talking about. In today's episode, we will be talking about one of the most famous legends right here in my home state of New Jersey, the legend of the New Jersey Devil. If you have never heard of the New Jersey Devil, you're gonna learn today. I will be exploring the many facets of the legend, how it came to be, sightings, even conspiracy theories. Everyone likes a good conspiracy theory. And I want you to keep up because we're going to be talking about a lot of names and a lot of dates. So hit pause, rewind, and rewatch, take notes, do your own digging and investigating, because that's what the fun of this is all about. All right, enough talking. Let's get into the legend of the Jersey Devil.
Ain't nobody gonna love me like the devil. Ain't nobody gonna love me like
Legend of the Jersey Devil is like synonymous with the Garden State. The legend dates back some 250 years, even before New Jersey became one of the 13 colonies. The New Jersey Pine Barrens are located in the most southern parts of the state of New Jersey. It's a heavily forested area covering up to 1.1 million acres, and it's basically its own ecosystem. It takes up about 22% of New Jersey's land area, covering over 56 municipalities and 7 counties, including Atlantic County, Burlington County, Camden County, Cape May County, Cumberland County, Gloucester County, even where I live, Ocean County. It not only is just a beautiful part of our state here in New Jersey, but when you go there and experience it for yourself, there is this palpable energy when you walk through the Pine Barrens. It's massive. If you don't know where you're going, don't know your way around the Pine Barrens, I would suggest that you don't go by yourself. Navigation's not going to help you out here, guys. Google Maps, walking is not going to get you anywhere. The Pine Barrens are massive, and if you are not familiar with them, it's easy to get lost, especially in the dark when everything looks the same. Definitely go with somebody who has experience of touring or venturing into and exploring the New Jersey Pine Barrens. You've been warned. There are so many theories out there about who or what the New Jersey Devil is. So we're going to explore just a few of the ones that I found fascinating that I think will help you on your journey down the rabbit hole into learning about the Jersey Devil. So put yourself back in the colonial 1700s in New Jersey. It was a different time. Everything was centered around family, work, and religion. Families were large in number. Most people worked, played, learned, worshipped right in their homes. The father was considered most times to be the head of household, hunter, provider of food, while the mother was considered to be the primary caregiver, and she was also expected to be a major contributor in the community and as well as the religious community. Children were put to work as well. They were meant to do chores. Boys help with farming and hunting and building. Girls help with cooking and cleaning and sewing. Basically, everybody got to work. You're born, you're slapped on the ass, and put to work. As one could expect, religion played a big part in the history of this whole story. At that time, New Jersey was very diverse religiously, including the Dutch Reformed Church, the Quakers, and the Episcopal Church. So I think that's a good place to stop. Let's talk about the Quakers. They will become a major contributor in some of the theories of the New Jersey Devil legend. The Quakers were a significant part of New Jersey's history. They were prominent in public life and were proprietors of both East and West New Jersey. So back then, the state of New Jersey, or the colony of New Jersey, was split into two. There was East Jersey and West Jersey. In 1658, Josiah Cole and Thomas Thurston were the first Quakers to pass through the area. In 1665, the first Quakers settled in Shrewsbury, New Jersey, which is in Monmouth County. In 1675, John Fenwick and his followers established the first permanent settlement in Salem, New Jersey, not to be confused with Salem, Massachusetts. You may have heard of William Penn. So William Penn was involved in the colonization of New Jersey as a trustee of West New Jersey. In 1681, Penn and other Quakers purchased East New Jersey from the widow of Sir John Carteret. Not only just the Quakers, but someone we all know very well in history, Benjamin Franklin. Yes, Benjamin Franklin has a part in the legend of the Jersey Devil. So I want you to put that stuff in your mental Rolodex for now, because we will be revisiting it down the road later in this episode. So now that you have a little background on the legend of the Jersey Devil, let's jump into the story. So again, there are tons of versions of the legend of the Jersey Devil. You may not have heard of any of this stuff before, or this may be a different version of the legend for you. So just follow me down this rabbit hole. The legend begins in colonial New Jersey in 1735, and what we now know is Leeds Point in Galloway Township, part of Atlantic County here in New Jersey. A woman by the name of Jane Smith immigrated from England and married into a family by the name of the Leeds family here in New Jersey, Daniel Leeds being her husband. Jane was known around the community as Mother Leeds. The Leeds were a well-known and still are to this day known in the area of Galloway Township. As I mentioned before, families in this time period of our history, they were not wealthy, but they tend to have large families, a lot of kids. Jane and Daniel actually had 12 kids that they had to support. Jane finds out that she is again pregnant with child number 13. Did they not have cable back then? Play cards, conversate, knit, whittle wood figures, something? Nope. Good old sex. You would think that the news of finding out that you're pregnant, you're going to be a new mom, would be ecstatic. But when it's baby number 13, it's a whole new ball game. Daniel Leeds, he would work, come home, drink, and not help Jane. He didn't clean. He didn't help with the kids. He didn't put them to bed. He didn't do any of that stuff. So finding out that she was pregnant again left Jane feeling frustrated that here we go again. It's going to happen all over again. Baby number 13, no help. The man is here, but not helping out in the situation. So like any good mother would do, Jane cursed her 13th child, declaring it would be the devil. Talk about a stage mom. Not just any child, a devil child. So on a stormy night in 1735, Mother Leeds goes into labor. It was a tough labor. In the room, there were a few midwives, Daniel, and in the other room were the Leeds children. In a couple of pushes, the Leeds now have a healthy baby boy. Some say that they named the child James or Jimmy, and we will discuss that name, so keep that in mind as we progress through our story. Since she initially cursed this child, shortly after the baby was born, again, a healthy baby was said to have had blue eyes, blonde hair, fair skin. Shortly after the baby's birth, he started to transform from a cute, blonde hair, blue-eyed, fair-skinned baby to a creature with hooves, the head of a horse, bat wings, fangs, claws, glowing red eyes, and a forked tail. He spread his wings, started to fly above the room, growling, hissing, and yelling at the Leeds family, the midwives, and the children in the other room, and flew up the chimney and into the Pine Barrens. Some even say that before he flew up into the chimney, he killed his mother, his father, the midwives, and all his brothers and sisters. Another version about the child was Mother Leeds was a witch, and the father was the devil himself. And there's also a theory that the baby was just born deformed. And in those times, if you had a child that was deformed in any way, it was automatically taken that you were a witch or practicing black magic, and that is what spawned from playing in the occult. Mother Leeds was just popping little demon children running all over the Quaker community. This did not bode well for Mother Leeds. So going back to the name Jimmy Leeds, there's actually theories that she named the son James before he started to transform into the Jersey Devil and nicknamed him Jimmy. There's even Jimmy Leeds Road that you can drive down in Galloway Township that is named specifically after the Jersey Devil. So let's talk sightings. My favorite part of this whole thing, I think it makes it fascinating when you put human experiences behind a legend to see how it morphs and transforms and becomes a psychological mindfuck for people. One of the most famous names to have ever reported having an experience and seeing the Jersey Devil was none other than Napoleon, not Dynamite, Bonaparte's brother, Joseph Bonaparte. Joseph Bonaparte was the king of Spain, and following his brother's defeat, so where does he land? Right here in New Jersey, in Burlington, New Jersey. He had over about 800 acres in Bordentown, New Jersey. Was said to pick the location because it was in the middle of the two most major ports, that being New York and Philadelphia. It was also said that he had hosted extravagant parties that aimed at impressing Americans. He became quite the New Jersey socialite, rubbing elbows with folks like John Adams, the Marquis of Lafayette, and Daniel Webster. One day while walking on his grounds hunting, Joseph heard sounds coming from the Pine Barrens on his property. It was said that it was yelling and screaming like he has never heard any animal ever before. The sounds were terrifying to him. So much so that he stopped in his tracks. And that motherfucker had a gun, but he was scared. As he looked over his shoulder, he made eye-to-eye contact with the creature. He said the eyes were burning red and almost pierced right through him. He described it as a creature with a large horse head, wings of a bat that was snarling and foaming at the mouth and was ready to attack Joseph. Being consumed by fear, Joseph totally did not even think about using his hunting rifle. Shortly after making eye contact, the creature flew away into the Pine Barren. There's also versions of the story where Joseph took a shot at the creature before the creature flew into the Pine Barrens. Here in our great state of New Jersey, there have been a lot of sightings of the Jersey Devil, personal interactions that people throughout the state, thousands of reports from residents and visitors who have seen the creature lurking about the Pine Barrens in the areas of South Jersey, especially along the coastline and the Pine Barren areas. These folks have vivid descriptions of the encounters. So here are just a few of the interviews I have seen with people people who have been in contact or witnessed the creature and has made significant impacts in these people's lives.
We were on our way home from the shore, going through the pines, and we had a convertible with the top down. And all of a sudden, I heard this blood-curdling scream. This isn't normal. This wasn't human. I looked over in the trees, and there was these lights, like 2 red lights like this. And it seemed to be something like swinging from tree to tree. I guess maybe about 2 minutes later, all of a sudden this thing flies in front of us. It was like 6 feet in front of us. And thank God, because we would have hit it. If he'd have came closer, we would have ran right into him. But he just stood there looking at us. I mean, we sat like this. He stared at us looking mean, and I'm thinking he's gonna kill us. And we couldn't move. We couldn't even back the car up. We were too scared to do anything. Three of us just stared at each other. It was weird. It was really weird.
Before, and I did a lot of camping when I was younger, so I'm pretty familiar with the sounds of the woods. I heard my name being called, but it didn't sound like any of the guys, so I stopped dead in my tracks, and I turned around, and there was nothing there, nobody there. I had this creepy feeling that I was being watched. I had this feeling that I had to shine my flashlight up at the treetops. There was this thing looking down right back at me with its red eyes. And all I can think of is that I gotta get out of here fast. And I started running back towards the camp. Tree branches are scratching me, and I was just praying to God that this thing wasn't chasing me. So I got back to camp, blew by everybody, jumped in the truck. I screamed, "Let's get the hell out of here." We just got there, and all the guys were looking at me confused. And I had tears in my eyes because I couldn't express myself. I couldn't express myself how serious it was that we had to get out of there. And even though I was in the truck, I just was thinking that they were out there with this thing, and that this thing was going to kill everyone.
The devil apparently was a beautiful baby boy. Soon after he was born, he grew talons and horns and wings unfurled from his back and very long legs. He went into the next room where the midwives were, and his father killed his father and mother, killed other children cowering in the corner, killed his mother, and then flew up the chimney, leaving all of this rubble behind. There are cults who believe there's a devil, and some people believe this is the neighborhood, this is the house. They're going to threaten. They want what they want, which is to burn down the house if they can't take pictures, to do seances, to conjure it up. They're looking for a connection to the devil. There is nearby a cemetery. It's called Leeds Point Cemetery, and it has maybe about 40 or 50 stones in it. And there were kids from Stockton, students from Stockton University, and they did a seance up there, hoping to conjure up something.
It just happened so quickly. It was horrible. Well, that night had been a big storm, the first significant one. I realized that I had left Christmas lights on because it's kind of dark and creepy out here at night. I was standing at a utility pole that just had a big electric outlet, and I bent over and was trying to pull this plug out. Simultaneously, I looked at my son who was standing right in front of me, and his face was just terrified, and he was like making garbled noises, pointing up, and just knew I had to get my son in the house. He was absolutely frozen. He just couldn't even move. I felt like prey, and I just charged forward. There was just this black, like, sensation, like a whoosh overhead of us, on top of us. And in a split second, I heard it on the roof. And all of a sudden, I knew this thing was exactly in the direction that we were running. And the second that we got to the doorstep, you could hear it coming down the roof, making these really click-clack, weird, metallic-y, bony noises. And we just got in the door, slammed the door, and then just started screaming and freaking out in the kitchen.
So we're on location right now, investigating the New Jersey Devil. So what we're going to do now is We're going to use...
Hey, yo, I'm gonna die.
We're going to use a spirit box to try to see if we can make connection with anything that's in the Pine Barrens where we are right now. Is this the home of Jimmy Leeds? Are there any spirits that are roaming the Pine Barrens?
No.
No. Is this the home of the Jersey Devil? Does the spirit of Mother Leeds reside in the Pine Barrens? If you are Jimmy Leeds, can you give us some type of sign? Are we speaking at all to Mrs. Leeds, Mother Leeds? Who are we speaking to? Are we speaking to Jimmy Leeds? Are we trespassing on your grounds? Do you want us to walk dark into the Pine Barrens?
Nah. Nah. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Are you waiting for us in the Pine Barrens?
Stop, Dad.
Yes.
Oh. Dad, chill.
Yo.
Dad, calm. What are you doing? Yo.
Yo, it literally said my name. I'm not.
What did it say?
Frank. Even if you're not a believer of things like the Jersey Devil, try to put yourself in their shoes. And how would that make you feel if you encountered something like a mystical creature from the Pine Barrens and nobody believed you? But you know that you, in fact, had an experience that maybe cannot be documented or recorded, yet has had a lasting impact in your life. People saw them as crazy. People saw them as delusional. But were they? In 1909, between January 16th to the 22nd, massive sightings in South Jersey were reported of seeing the Jersey Devil, both in New Jersey and in the Philadelphia area. People on a trolley car in Camden, New Jersey, actually group witnessed the Jersey Devil flying around the trolley car and then into the New Jersey Pine Barrens. People were so afraid they did not go out of their house. They did not send their kids to school. They were shuddered in fear. After the mass sightings, scientists and professors from the Smithsonian Institute thought that the Jersey Devil was actually a surviving species from the Jurassic era that somehow managed to survive in the nearby limestone caves. Even Philadelphia Zoo Superintendent Robert D. Carson offered a $10,000 reward for the capture of the Jersey Devil. Due to the fear of the creature, wealthy merchants saw a decrease in profits and blamed it on the Jersey Devil, offering a whopping $250K for its capture. And you know, an episode of Revealing the Unknown can't go without having a touch of conspiracy theory. I mean, who does not like a good conspiracy theory? I love a good conspiracy theory. So remember when I told you to put the Quakers and Ben Franklin, William Penn in your mental Rolodex? Now we're going to talk about roles they play in the legend of the Jersey Devil. There is a theory that the Jersey Devil was created in the middle of political conflict. That's right, politics. Damn you, politics! It actually was not even the supernatural legend that we know of today. The Leeds Devil story is said to be believed by political historians to be one of the first political smear campaigns. Many scholars believe that Daniel Leeds came to America in 1677 and settled right in Burlington, New Jersey. Coincidental, the same town as Joseph Bonaparte. Daniel Leeds published a widely read almanac that was, for its time, very scandalous, as it often spoke about topics and subject matter that had to deal with the occult, like astrology was a big one, even though he was himself a Quaker. His accusations against the Quakers' misdeeds enraged the Quaker community so much that they called Leeds Satan's harbinger. And to make matters worse, Daniel Leeds supported the first royal governor of New Jersey, the infamous Lord Cornbury, a man who is infamously known to have been loose with the colony's taxes, a cross-dresser, a drag queen. We know this is slander, government, politics, bullshit. See it today, all the time, still exists. Eventually, Daniel's son Titan Leeds took over running the almanac, quickly ran into none other than one of our most famous figures in American history, and that is Benjamin Franklin. You see, Ben Franklin was really positioning himself to be a name in publishing. So as a publicity stunt aimed at his biggest competitor, Franklin, under the pen name of Poor Richard Saunders, claimed that the astrological calculations show that Titan Leeds would die in 1733. When the prediction did not pan out, Leeds called Franklin a fool and a liar. But without missing a beat, Franklin claimed that since Titan Leeds had in fact died, his ghost must be doing all the writings in the Leeds Almanac. Titan Leeds tried his best to defend himself, but Franklin just kept at the attacks and made public statements that Titan Leeds has been resurrected from the dead and was indeed the devil. Well, it worked, people. Ben Franklin's Poor Richard's Almanac became famous, while the pioneering Leeds Almanac faded out. Titan Leeds did eventually die, but that wasn't until 1738, not in 1733 when Ben Franklin claimed he had died. So again, a very interesting take on a conspiracy theory, not coming from a paranormal, but from a political perspective, which is super interesting given today's political climate. There are tons of other cool little tidbits of information that come out of the Jersey Devil legend here in our great state of New Jersey. Our hockey team is named after the legend, Jersey Devils, and even the great New Jersey native Bruce Springsteen wrote a song about the legend called A Night with the Jersey Devil. There is even an annual festival that we have here in Asbury Park, New Jersey, that is hosted by the Paranormal Books and Curiosities Paranormal Museum. It's a fabulous event which bring all things Jersey Devil and other New Jersey fables together to talk about the history, to talk about the stories and the theories. It's a huge event. I'll post links in the description where you guys can go. Check it out if you've never been, or if you're curious about the Jersey Devil and want to learn more and meet people in a community that can connect and share stories and experiences. And that is the legend of the Jersey Devil. So what do you think, guys? Creature of the unknown, political strategy. I would like to know your thoughts. Comment below and let me know what you think. Comment. I love comments. Whether they agree or they don't agree, I am open to hearing people's thoughts and perspectives on the topic. Or maybe you have stories of your own with the New Jersey Devil. I want to know. Send me some comments. Let's talk Jersey Devil. I hope you found this Jersey Devil rabbit hole as interesting as I did. There are just so many layers and versions of the legend. It will probably perpetuate and manifest and morph into so many different things. It is part of our culture here in the great Garden State of New Jersey. Why shouldn't it be? Home of The Sopranos, greats like Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen, Joe Pesci, Whitney Houston, and of course, the Jersey Devil. Be sure to like and follow the ParaSight Experience on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at the ParaSight Experience. Also, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell notification right here on our YouTube channel. You want to subscribe because we're going to be bringing you tons of great new content at the ParaSight Experience. Also, let me know which topics that you want me to cover. I'll be happy to jump down the rabbit holes. I have tons of stuff coming up and ideas and thoughts, and I sometimes have to tell myself to focus on just one topic because it's so easy to get distracted, go on a tangent. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. But I'm going to be bringing you a bunch of stuff. But if you want to make some suggestions, recommendations of things that I should cover, message me, put them down in the comments. I want to know. I want to be able to indulge your wants and desires in this whole thing of the unexplained and the unknown. Again, I am your host, Frankie Adeo, and I will see you next time with another episode of Revealing the Unknown. Bye.